Hello everyone. I'm Charlie, and I'm back after a bit of an extended break. I'm not exactly sure how long it's been since my last video. Um, I will still be off on a break because it's the end of the year. I'll be next week I'll be off on vacation, and I might probably do a video or two before the year ends. Next year, I don't know how. I hope I'm fully back. Uh, Again, making much more regular videos. I'm not sure if I will continue doing reviews for a while because there's been some really weird situations that have been happening in the past month. I mean, I've been away because I'm dealing with some personal problems almost being resolved, but still I have it still brings up a few complications for next year. So I hope I get some sense of stability next year. So I continue doing the review videos. I'm also been writing a lot, so that really takes a lot of my time. Hopefully, I've decided to I've been writing nonstop, um, which means every week I'm writing, not the full week, but several days I've been writing, hoping to make some extra money selling my stories to the Ellery Queen Mystery Magazine. That's where I'm being submitting some of my stories. Um, so that takes a lot of my time. And like I said, some really weird situations going on since the past month with my comics. If you recall, back in August, one of my shops had problems with their shipments arriving late. Uh, September was okay. October again, a few books got delayed. Uh, and so last month, November, the guy at my shop told me that the books will be arriving between Friday and Saturday. So that kind of puts me in a bit of a spot because the other shop I go to, they get their books on time, with a few exceptions, but that's like a day behind. So um, I don't really like taking double trips. I could go to the shops, on Saturday, but sometimes Saturday it is hard. Family things might come up, um, or I just don't feel like going out. So that has got me picking up books from the previous week when the new books come in. Uh, when I go pick up my new books, so I don't have a full. So I don't know if I should really review books that are a week old with the new stuff. So that's that has got me thinking how I want to approach the reviews. Uh, so I might not be doing a lot of review videos for a while. Hopefully, I will do videos of other things that I actually have in the back of my mind that I wanted to do, before this whole situation that I'm got myself into uh, uh, was being planned. So next year I'll probably do, show some other stuff that I have, and do other types of videos. Um, actually one of the videos I want to do is a sort of a series focusing on Superman, which I thought of, about 2 or 3 months ago. So I haven't gotten to doing those, so I might do those, starting next year. To sort of not to sort of complement the lack of review videos that I'll be doing, which I'll be doing uh, ever so often, I guess, when I feel that there are books worth of talking about that I think are worth talking about. So this week I'm gonna sort of go with the books that I've gotten from that I got just this past week. So those are 2 weeks worth of books. You know, the books that were new last week and the books from the first week of December that I actually got because one of my books got delayed. So again, I don't have my full pull, but I'll quickly go through them. I want to start with uh, Rachel Rising number 30. I've been enjoying this series a lot. Also, it's always hard to talk about it because it's just such a nice mix of art and story, and I just think it's a great book. That I do feel that it comes out like every 2 months, so I kind of forget what happened before. So it does feel like it reads better as a trade rather than as single issues, but I just gotta get the single issues because and read the single issues because there's just something in this book, it's a really nice mix, like I said, of visual storytelling supported by words. The other new book I got this week was Justice League United number 7. This continues the Infinity Saga, which reintroduces the Legion of Superheroes to the DCU. Uh, I'm just enjoying this book. Uh, I can't drop it. To me, it's a fun book. It's not too serious. It's better than the regular Justice League because here you do have a team, and Justice League is just all over the place, I guess. But I keep picking up the other Justice League, the main Justice League book, just because it's got some interesting things going on. But I don't know, this is just a fun book for me, and it's telling a huge story, and it's within the pages of the series. So from the so now let's go to like back issues. Um, from 2 weeks ago or a week and a half ago, whatever. So we're starting with action number 37, Action Comics number 37. So I flipped through this issue when it came out at the other shop that I go to. And I wasn't feeling too excited about it. Finally got to pick it up at the shop that's got my pull for this book. And I read it. It's got some good stuff. It reinvents as the Ultra Human Knight, which was the very first villain Superman ever fought. It's got horror in it. It's got the art is okay, I guess. I'm not too crazy about the art. I have to say, I never really said much about it, but I'm not really too crazy about Aaron Kunder's art. Um, he does do some interesting things with like the flashback sequence here. Oh, sorry about that. I'm just give me a second. See if I could darken this a bit more. So let's see, because he does do some very interesting stuff though with the flashback sequence here. I don't know if you can see it. See, like something, you know. He does do some interesting stuff with these flashback sequences, but I'm not too crazy about the art. Um, it's okay. Uh, this issue was, like I said, okay. I'm not too excited. The story itself is interesting. Whatever something is, affecting Smallville. I like that, but the whole attitude that Pac is giving, Lana and Superman about, being down on Superman, and Superman feeling kind of sad as well, depressed. I don't like it, but it's okay. But I'm not too thrilled with this run anymore. I mean, I think for me it was um, doomed that kind of made me kind of look a bit down on Superman on the current run of Superman. Um, then I got Green Lantern number 37, which is part one of the third act of Godhead. So this being a crossover, I think like the previous sort of crossover story that have been running through the maybe past few months in the Green Lantern universe, the books themselves, I think this book, because it's the only book I read, has sort of maintained its own um, uh, storyline. Uh, we do get stuff from what's been going on with the rest of the Green Lantern Corps. I don't feel lost. Uh, I don't feel lost and sort of understand what's going on. Did a good job of giving the proper information necessary to give the story context. But this issue, once it goes what into Hal Jordan, once it starts to focus on Hal Jordan, it picks up from where last issue left off, which was Hal recruited um, Black Hand to help him fight, the new gods. So I found it entertaining. Sort of, I'm not super excited, but it's still a good read for me. Finally, got Ghost number 10. Uh, Another enjoyable book for me. One that I look forward to every month. It does seem at least a little bit sort of formulaic in the way the story is built, the plot is built. Like the last arc, you kind of think it's going toward the superhero side of things, but then we're introduced to the new villain, um, who adds a little sense of weirdness to the story once again. Just trying to find. Here we go. This is the new villain for this new arc. So we do get kind of I, once again just goes back into the weirdness, and so it's not what you expect it to be. But the way the story is presented and uh, executed, it all goes back to the more interesting aspect of the book, which is everything goes back to affect Ghost personally. Uh, this new arc in part deals with the ending of the last arc, which is she finds out everything about herself, about her life before she died. So now she's dealing with that, and the way she's doing it is by somehow deciding that she's going to fix the world. So she goes in this one-woman crusade against, all the gangs in Chicago, but she jumps without looking. She's very impulsive, uh, and that impulsiveness and that rashness in her actions pay. She finally ends up paying a very huge price because she's leaping before she looks, and one of her friends actually gets killed at the end of this issue because she just acted impulsively. She has the power to to do that. She thinks she's got the power, but she doesn't really know how to use it. The ghost part of her, that dark nature that came back with her when she was brought back to life, sort of blinds her to any sort of rational thinking. So when she decides to confront the entire all of Chicago's gangs, they retaliate, and she sort of knew that might happen, but she never really thought about it that much. And when it happens, um, in the end, it's too late to. She isn't prepared. She realizes it's this battle at the end. At the end, um, in the last part of the book is retaliation for Ghost messing with their business. So she doesn't realize it's retaliation, and that the whole situation that got her into that, which started here. She starts chasing a few police cars, and then she pretty much gets ambushed right here. uh, it's too late for her to she realizes too late that this was an ambush, and that the gangs were retaliating. So in the end, her friend Tommy gets in the crossfire and he gets killed. So again, still a very interesting book, very entertaining read for me, and like I said, one of the books that I look forward to every month. Finally, I was going to do an unboxing video a while back. Unfortunately, the book didn't arrive. It came on Saturday, 2 months after I had bought the book. The seller sent it out on time. It got lost somewhere in the mail. At one point, as I looked to the tracking information, it was stuck. It was either in New York or in Florida, because that's where it said it the tracking said it was on the same day at the same time. It was either in New York or or, or, or Florida. So 2 months after I bought it, it arrived. If you follow me on Twitter, you might have seen the pic that I posted up on Saturday afternoon. So this book kind of I've been expecting. So this is Superman number 195. I really like the cover, and this was one of the books I wanted just because of the cover. But actually, there's more to it than that. So so this is the second appearance of the villain Amalak. He was created by Jim Shooter. His first appearance was in issue 190. This is his second appearance in the Silver Age. His second and last appearance in the Silver Age. And he didn't really return until the Bronze Age. They didn't do anything with him post-Crisis. And was brought back by Kurt Busiek in his three-part story arc titled The Third Kryptonian. Amalak is a very obscure villain, but I think he could be a really great Superman villain because Amalak actually hates Krypton. So he actually makes a good villain for both Superman and Supergirl. Because he hates everything Kryptonian, because he blames the destruction of his planet due to Krypton blowing up. That's in the Silver Age. The more recent version of him, which was in the post-Crisis universe, post-Infinite Crisis universe actually, where Krypton's history was rewritten so that centuries before Superman was sent, before it was destroyed, Krypton actually had colonies. So at some point, Kryptonians were the most feared people in the universe because of their colonialism, and Amalak had reason to hate Kryptonians. So I think he makes a better villain for a Superman movie than say Brainiac, because if we go and think about, you've seen Man of Steel, the whole deal with Krypton, which is very similar to what DC did with the whole, as I said, Krypton as a colonial power centuries before it blew up. So I think Amalak would have made a great villain, showing up, because they probably did to explain what Zod was going to do to Earth. So anyways, glad I got this 2 months late. Almost to the day since it was shipped, because it was shipped in time, but because it got lost in the mail somewhere. So 2 months after the fact that I bought it and shipped it, it arrived. So the story is written by Jim Shooter with art by Kurt Swan and I think George Klein on inks, and it has a reprint of Superman number 133, which is a Jerry Siegel story with art by Wayne Boring, and that story is titled Superman Joins the Army, which is the type of story that you could get away with, in 1959. in the 50s. Uh, it also has some very interesting letters. It's got a letter written by Harry Bates, who Mort Weisinger said came up with the idea for this cover, and he and Mark Evanier also writes as well. So some so yeah, I'll probably do a review on this book if you want, cause it's an interesting story. Both of them actually are. Um, so I don't want to make this go any longer, cause it's almost 26 minutes of recording. So I'll just say I always do. Until next time, keep smiling.